The election is less than a month away, and the Democrats are hoping for Harris to win and to have a peaceful transfer of power. The Republicans are hoping to win and to have a bloodless coup. They already have their playbook. It's Project 2025. I fear that much of the country is like me and can't imagine that the checks and balances will hold no matter who is in the White House. We are often called a young country by the European and Asian countries because they have existed for at least 20 centuries, as opposed to ours less than 3. Unfortunately, what often comes with youth is being naive. The Americans are often naively led into war. The Spanish did not blow up the Maine. The Lusitania was carrying munitions, and Billy Mitchell told of Pearl Harbor's vulnerability in 1924. While there are other reasons for our entering these wars, nobody chants remember the Zimmerman papers, but instead chant remember the Lusitania. Our nation can handle external threats because we work together. But what about internal ones? The presidential race may present a new internal threat. When I first heard about Project 2025, I didn't pay much attention to it. I figured that it was like a child's Christmas list where they put everything they wanted, but realized Santa's sleigh wouldn't hold it all. Our presidents, for the most part, have worked within the framework of the Constitution. That may change with Project 2025. For the few who still think that after the election their lives will not change, here are some highlights of 2025 that make 2025 look like we are heading to 1984. They will seek to end abortion and all forms of contraception, including the morning after pill. They will reinstitute the Comstock Act, preventing the use of the mail for delivery of abortion medications, equipment, or materials. For some reason, they want to increase the population. According to the book Freakonomics, abortion kept crime down, and though we are losing jobs in this country, we are not losing them to other countries, but to automation. Just what we need is a bunch of unemployed, crime-leading people roaming our streets. This will continue until they have to reinstate abortion rights or start a one-child policy for the poor. They will start mass deportations, first with illegal immigrants, but that is only the beginning if Trump wins. Trump is a bigot, so after he runs the Muslims out, he will start with the blacks until the only people left would be the white Christian serving class and the rich they will be serving. They will limit your free speech and other rights. In 2020, the Trump administration threatened to use force to quell protests, and actually did deploy federal agents and National Guard troops who arrested and used excessive force against protesters and journalists. If Trump secures a second term, this abuse of power is likely to recur and even escalate. Trump has already indicated that his administration would consider invoking the Insurrection Act to deploy the military to America's cities, potentially targeting those with large BIPOC and immigrant communities to suppress the right to protest. Trump has also indicated that his administration would attack online free expression by forcing media companies and online platforms to carry conservatives' preferred speech. I'm not sure what will happen with voting rights because Trump seems to indicate that when he becomes dictator, you won't have any.
It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore.
If you do have rights to vote, they will be severely restricted to the point that they may not be secret anymore. They will continue to curtail free speech in the classroom and eliminate speech. In 2023, more than 100 classroom censorship bills aimed at restricting students and teachers from discussing race, gender, or sexual orientation were introduced in states across the country. 32 bills became law. The year prior, the country saw the highest number of attempted book bans in 20 years. More than 1,000 demands to censor library books and resources. many of which targeted titles by or about Black and LGBTQ people. They will roll back trans rights. They will make it illegal to adopt children, to marry, or basically to exist. And if you are straight and try to defend their rights, you'll be on Trump's enemies list. You may be saying, but Trump says that he is not connected to Project 2025, and you believe him. Talk about being naive.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
Project 2025 was published by the Heritage Foundation, a long-standing conservative think tank with direct ties to former President Trump's administration. Though Trump has falsely claimed he is not connected to Project 2025, a recent report from CNN found at least 140 people who worked on Project 2025 previously worked in the Trump administration. The Heritage Foundation president, Kevin Roberts, also previously worked on President Trump's transition team in 2016 and has described his organization's role as institutionalizing Trumpism. You may be saying, hey, I'm a white Christian heterosexual who voted for Trump. What do I have to fear? That's what Martin Niemöller believed. Martin Niemöller was a prominent Lutheran minister in Germany. In the 1920s and early 30s, he sympathized with many Nazi ideas and supported radical right-wing political movements. He is famous for the following quote: "First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." Martin Niemöller. Just remember what Trump said: I love the poorly educated.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Which to me translates to the stupid. This is the part where I'm supposed to beg you to subscribe. I'm not sure that begging works, so I'm going to use threats. That's right. If you don't subscribe, I'm going to have to go to OnlyFans. I know what you're saying. That will ruin the platform. And you're right. So, if not for me, do it for all the young girls who have sold their souls for Coach bags. And, if you're feeling generous, buy me a coffee. It will help while I'm looking at bikinis.